So the second trailer for Ghostbusters Afterlife came out today. What is it, July 27th? And it has occurred to me that I just do not care about this movie. I have no expectation that this is going to be a good movie, and I'm not going to see it unless I see that it gets good reviews. If it ends up being a good movie, then fine. If not, I don't really care. The trailer that came out today provided a little more context for the storyline, and it shows a few more familiar ghosts and stuff in it, but it didn't really seem to reveal much beyond what we have already seen. Now, I am not excited for this movie for two reasons. The first reason is that I am one of 10 people on this planet who did not like Stranger Things, and I am not a huge fan of that kid from that show who is also starring in this movie. In general, I just don't like movies or TV shows that are based on children or teenagers. Obviously, there are exceptions like It Chapter 1 and The Goonies, but as a general rule, I just don't think preteens and teenagers are very funny, and I prefer to watch professional comedians do comedy. I don't remember watching Ghostbusters 1 and 2 and thinking, you know what, there just aren't enough teenagers in this movie. I really hope Ghostbusters 3 includes a bunch of middle schoolers. The second reason I'm not excited is because it isn't focused on the original cast. I never wanted to see a Ghostbusters 3 where Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Ernie Hudson, and the late Harold Ramis were supporting characters to make way for less funny and less interesting replacement characters. They should have made Ghostbusters 3 with the original cast a long time ago, and they could have introduced new characters and supporting roles to possibly pass the torch for another movie, but I don't want to see them cameo in their own movie. Now, it isn't clear how large of a role the original cast will have in this movie. I'm hoping that the trailer is kind of holding back because I'm really not digging the small town setting. I feel like the New York setting is as much of a character, as much of an important character in the Ghostbusters movies as any of the other cast members. So I'm just kind of worried about this whole movie taking place in a small town with a population of 500 people. Again, I'm hoping that the whole movie doesn't take place in this setting because I don't know, that just seems really boring to me. I'm ticked that the original cast could never settle on a good script and that they waited until they were too old and didn't care anymore to, finally make a Ghostbusters reboot in 2016 and then another reboot this year. One of my biggest problems with the Star Wars sequel trilogy was that it sidelined the original cast for a new cast that no one really cares about, and I have a feeling that I really am not going to care about these new characters in this movie either, except for Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd looks like an interesting character, and I like Paul Rudd. And again, he's an adult comedian who knows how to act, and I would rather watch professional adult comedians do comedy movies than watch preteens try and be funny on screen. Now, one positive thing I will say about this movie is that it looks infinitely better than Ghostbusters 2016. That movie was just awful, and I'm very surprised, actually, that the studio has had the cojones to greenlight a new reboot just 3 or 4 years after that disaster. I am hoping that everything we see in the trailer thus far takes place in the first half of the movie, and the teaser at the end of the trailer where they call Ray, I hope that takes place at the start of the second half so that they can give adequate screen time to the original cast. What I definitely don't want to see is I don't want to see the little nerdy girl walk up to a cliff and see a hooded Bill Murray, and then he turns around and she holds out his proton pack while tears well up in his eyes, and then it cuts to the credits. Yeah, that's a Force Awakens reference. Yeah, I don't want to see anything like that. If they're going to put Bill Murray in it and Dan Aykroyd and Ernie Hudson, I want them to actually get together, put on their proton packs, have Bill Murray say, "Oh, just like old times," or something like that, and crack a joke, and they get together and say something that's a, callback from the first Ghostbusters, and like, "Hey, haven't we fought this ghost before?" Like, it looks like Gozer and Zool are going to be in this movie again. I don't know. I just please give these original characters enough screen time, because I've never thought, what would be awesome is if they got rid of all of the original characters and just made a new Ghostbusters. Like, never in my mind have I ever thought that would be a good idea. But anyway, if you are more optimistic about this movie than I am, let me know where I'm wrong in the comments below, and I will see you next time.